Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's me, Cadencewhispers, here with another pick a pile reading for today. And I've got green nails today, green for abundance, as I felt like we all needed a little bit more abundance in our lives. So the pick a pile reading that we'll be doing today is how do they really feel about you? And I've got 4 new decks that I'm using today. My boyfriend goes absolutely mad because of the amount of money that I spend on decks, but you know, it's my livelihood at the end of the day, and it's a little bit of an addiction. So what I'll do is I'll just show you the boxes of them, and I'll also put in in the description the decks that I'm using. So the new ones that I'm using, I've got the Cosmic Tarot, the Mystic Faerie Tarot, Magical Mermaids and Dolphins Oracle cards, and Nature's Whispers. I'm also using the Magical Herb Oracle, the Oracle deck that I designed. Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah. So we've got 4 piles today. I just felt like sometimes 3 piles isn't enough, you know, and there needs to be an extra pile. So pile 1, we have, I think it's a Red Adventurine, Smoky Quartz. Is it Blue Jasper or Amethyst? I think it's Blue Jasper, or Blue Agate. And we've got the Rose Quartz Heart there. Okay. So, just before we go into the reading, just a little bit of an update of just being busy with my son and some other family matters, and after recovering from a chest infection, I've had a little bit of a tummy bug, and just a few other ongoing issues. So that's why I haven't uploaded as quickly as I would have liked to. But anyway, I'm back now, and we're going to go ahead and start the reading very soon. So if you just take a deep breath and just think about which cards you're drawn to the most, and just think about the person that you want to know how they really feel. And then we shall begin with pile 1. Okay, so let's start with pile 1. Again, it's the Red Adventurine, although in this light it looks very, very orange. So on top we have the Mystic Faerie Tarot, so we'll just start with the top. So we're asking, what are their real feelings for you? So we have the Moon, the World, the Priestess upside down. This is the Cosmic Tarot, so we've got the Star, King of Wands, and the Moon again, the Moon twice. That's really interesting. Okay, and then we've got the Oracle deck I designed. We've got Patience and Worth It. And then from the Mermaid and Dolphins Oracle, we have Yes. So just put that up there. Okay. Morning affirmations. Say positive affirmations each morning to open the gates of manifestation. Okay, and then we've got the Magical Herb Oracle, Abundance, Cleanse, and the Nature's Whispers Oracle cards. We've got Be Spontaneous and Amplify Positive Emotions. So let me just take a look. So I mean, there's a lot of big emotions here that they feel. You know, none of these cards really are minor cards. There's no kind of fleeting emotions that I can physically see here. The Priestess reversed, I feel you've taken them by surprise. You know, usually with the Priestess, the High Priestess, you can kind of see things come in, you know, you're aware of everything around you, but I feel like you coming into their life has taken them completely by surprise, because I feel like on some level they felt like they don't deserve you, and you're out of their league, you know, which is represented by the Star card. But, you know, I feel like, I mean, these emotions are really deep. I mean, look at this card, you know, this is like the deepest kind of emotion you can get. You know, they want to marry you, they want to commit to you. You know, what's interesting is because we've got the King of Wands here, and the King of Wands typically isn't a man who commits, but I feel as though you kind of bring out the fun in him, because the King of Wands is a very fun person. He's very energetic. He enjoys life. He's very chatty. He's very charismatic, you know. So I feel like you bring out all of these qualities in him, you know. And the Yes card, it's like a confirmation for you, really, that yes, this person, this man, this woman, you know, however they identify themselves, they genuinely do have deep feelings for you. And, you know, it's not selfish feelings, it's like genuine loving feelings, you know, because sometimes in connections, you know, they're there for what they can gain from you, but I feel like literally all they want to gain is just to be in your presence and enjoy being there. You know, the fact that you've got the moon twice says to me that you've got a very, very psychic connection, and I feel like you probably even felt them coming for years before they actually arrived, you know, in dreams and things like that, certain places. You know, at the time, obviously, you didn't know that they came from that place, but when you know, you drove through there or walked through there, you felt like this pull, this recognition. And, you know, now obviously you're in each other's lives, you understand exactly what that pull is. You know, cleanse here, I feel like you've cleansed their past, you know, you've cleansed their palette of situations that they've experienced in the past, you know, and it's, you know, just made them so grateful for the day, you know, and they feel as though they're able to manifest whatever they want with you, because, you know, you amplify their positive emotions, you know, you really bring out the best in them, essentially. The Patience card as well. Sorry, I'll try and slow down with my speaking. The Patience card, you know, I feel like they've waited for you their entire lives, you know, and they felt like it was worth the wait. You know, and they're glad that they waited and they weren't hasty in the decision. And, you know, that you've come when you have, really. You know, they feel incredibly abundant with you in terms of emotions. You've really enriched their lives in so many ways, you know, and they're incredibly spontaneous now as well, because they just have this enormous zest for life that, you know, maybe they didn't have before they met you, you know, because the sense that I'm getting is that, you know, they've been through a lot of hardships and, you know, spent years in negativity. You know, they're very down on themselves. They've got low self-confidence because of past experiences that they have. So they're just, you know, I'm not saying that you're not an amazing person, because clearly you are. But, you know, they just can't believe the luck that they found you, and, you know, that you want to be with them, because they have such low self-esteem and low expectations of themselves. It's really difficult for them to believe, but, you know, right now they're just really enjoying being with you, you know, enjoying the company, you know, and like in their mind right now they want to marry you. You know, it doesn't matter what stage of the connection that you're in. You know, if you're married, then they're happily married. You know, if you're getting to know each other, you know, I feel like this is such a serendipitous connection that they feel like they know they're going to marry you. You know, you could have been together for a few years. You know, it's definitely on their mind. You know, so I feel like if you're asking, are they going to ask you to marry them, that the answer is definitely yes. Let me see. But, you know, all in all, this is a really beautiful connection. I do feel with the moon, though, especially with it being double moon, that there is some jealousy in this connection, probably from both sides, because of previous experiences you've both had, you know, so you've kind of been brought together through the same experiences. and that's kind of where the strength in the relationship lies, is because you've had those similar experiences, and you're just looking forward to being with each other, because there's so many powerful, strong cards here. There's not one weak one at all. I mean, the King of Wands on his own, he's a very powerful king, but I feel like with all these other cards, it's kind of calmed that side of his nature down, because I feel like he's a fire sign, so that's an Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius, or he has those tendencies, and I feel like you've really, you've brought a lot of water into it. You've calmed him down, you've made him see that, stability, tranquility, just being calmer, more rational is actually a good thing. So I do feel that you are a very positive influence on him, and you're the light of his life, essentially. But yeah, that's pile 1. I hope it resonates. If it has, please leave comments, and any feedback is appreciated. And I'll move on to pile 2 now. Okay, moving on to pile 2 now, which is the smoky quartz. Okay, so start with the Mystic Faerie Tarot, and we have the 7 of Wands reversed. Oh dear. The 6 of Cups, the 8 of Pentacles. Okay, we'll see where this is going now. This is the Cosmic Tarot. We've got the Ace of Wands, King of Cups, and the 9 of Swords reversed. Okay, and then the Oracle deck that I designed. We've got Beautiful War, When We Collide, okay, and the Mermaids and Dolphins Oracle. Contemplation time. Spend time alone meditating upon what you truly desire. Okay. Ready, set, go. Now is the perfect moment to dive in and embrace your heart's desire. Okay, the Magical Herb Oracle. Progress, flow, and the Nature's Whispers finally. Perfect setting, hope and happiness. Okay. Right. This is a little bit of a confusing one, because there's some conflicting emotions in there. You see, on one hand, like, he's really happy, he's completely in love, there's no doubt about that, but there's a little bit of a sense of disagreements in here. He's kind of like fighting a battle within himself, really, as well as obviously with you. The 7 of Wands, when it's upright, it's about fighting for a relationship, it's defending each other, fighting for the right cause, and it's like reversed. I feel like there's a part of him that wonders if it is worth the fight. The 9 of Swords reversed, he feels like the absolute worst is happening. I feel as though this man suffers from some mental health issues, whether that be anxiety, depression, personality disorders, and I feel like he has this inner battle running all the time, so it does make it very difficult for him, and love is particularly painful because of these conflicting things that he has going on all the time. I mean, he's obviously a very emotional man. I feel he's kind of in charge of his emotions, though, and he only really shows them when he feels that they're necessary. But on the surface, he's a very, very deep person. He feels very deeply. He gets affected by things very easily, so he probably spends a lot of time on his own because of that. He's a very sexual man as well, though. He's very dynamic, he's very creative, he's very action driven, and this can get him into trouble because he tends to make decisions before thinking them through, and saying things before he's really thought them through. He's that kind of person. He's very sort of in the moment kind of guy. And, I do feel with this man, he probably does blow hot and cold because he's so in the moment, and he gets wrapped up in his feelings at the moment, doesn't really sit and analyze them. He just goes with them. So, some days it might be a case of, he's really lovey-dovey, and then the next day you're fighting and you're arguing, and it always just seems to kind of be this back and forth. But the thing is, there are some deep feelings there. He does want to commit. He does want to settle down. He does want to progress, but he's battling these things inside of himself. This is definitely a past life connection, and with the Six of Cups, it's about past events returning. So I do feel as though this push and pull, it happens over and over again, but it's not for a lack of love, because there is a lot of love there, there's a lot of attraction, and he has an awareness that you're better together than apart, because when we collide, it's from the song Many of Horror by Biffy Clyro, and the lyrics go, when we collide we come together, if we don't we'll always be apart. So saying sometimes it's better to fight with the person that you love, because you're coming together in that moment to fight for the relationship, and the beautiful war kind of has a very similar message there as well. So I feel like he's having this inner monologue all the time, about how he really feels, but it's not even really about how he feels, because he knows how he feels, but it's kind of like, does he deserve it? It's that kind of thing. I think he's a glutton for self-punishment, but I feel there's definitely hope. There's hope in this situation. So even if at the moment, and some, most of the time, it feels like he's hot and cold, this is the perfect setting. Basically means you're the perfect person for him to be with, because you can balance him out, and he's got the perfect thing to fight for with you, and he has made a lot of progress in this connection. I feel like before he met you, he was very scattered, he was very all over the place. He had anger issues, he was just very emotional. He spent a lot of time on his own because he didn't really have anyone to talk to, and he went inside of himself a lot. And I feel like you kind of, you're the perfect match for him, essentially, because you make up for what he lacks, so even though there does seem to be arguing quite a lot and this push and pull, he actually finds a lot of hope and happiness within you, so don't doubt his feelings. He's just a very tempestuous person at times. He's got a lot going on internally. There's a lot of past wounds there, and it's kind of like the flow, like love ebbs and flows, you have ups and downs, and, this is like sort of the archetypal version of that, and it's like sometimes he really wants to be there in the moment with you. He's living for it, he's loving it, he's there with you, and I feel like he's a very fast-paced person, even in his work life, he's very sort of dedicated, he's there in the moment, he wants to get everything done and completed. I feel like he's a bit of a perfectionist, and then towards the end of the week he likes to spend time alone, because he gets so overstimulated that if he doesn't have that time alone, he becomes quite angry and bitter and things like that, and the thing is, he's not a good person. The King of Cups is a very, very good person, but because of how sensitive he is, he gets very negative quickly as well, because he soaks up other people's emotions, and it does have that effect on him, especially things from the past relationships, etc. It's very easy for him to kind of slip into negativity and get dragged down by all of that. But I do feel like he does feel like this is worth fighting for, and he understands that you may argue, but you're better off together than you ever would be apart. So it's important for you to know that. I don't really see anything negative here, because I can clearly see that this man loves you very, very much. He just, it's his internal things really that kind of stop him at times from saying what he knows that he should be saying. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. Try not to worry too much. This person definitely loves you. They just have a lot of internal struggles that they're dealing with. Okay, so this is pile 2, moving on to pile 3 now. Hey guys, okay, back with pile 3, and the blue agate, blue jasper, whichever one it is. I keep meaning to look it up, and I never do, but I have actually written it down, so I'm going to check after this video so I know in future what it is, okay? So the Mystic Fairy Tarot, we have 10 of Pentacles. Oh, nice. 2 of Cups. Very, very nice. Strength. Okay, so from the Cosmic Tarot, Judgment. 2 of Pentacles. 8 of Swords. Okay, and from my oracle deck, we have the voice inside my head. Piece by piece. The Mermaids and Dolphins oracle, dream big. Let go of small thoughts about yourself, see yourself succeeding. Divine magic, extra magical energy surrounds your situation right now, expect miracles. And from the magical herb, we have acceptance, guidance, and the nature's whispers, fresh approach, clear out the old. Okay, so this person, they actually have really high expectations of you. You know, that you've kind of fulfilled them in a way that nobody else has until this point. You know, you've accepted them for who they are, and that's such an alien thing to them because they've never really had that before. They've always kind of been judged for everything they've done in their life, you know. And the 8 of Swords here, you know, they're keeping themselves in negativity, in this like mental prison, and like even though you've accepted them, they're struggling to accept that you've accepted them. And you know, I feel like that's really the only thing that's kind of affecting this at the moment is their own mentality and vision of themselves. You know, and you are kind of helping them to clear out old negative emotions and to heal. You know, Piece by Piece is sung by Kelly Clarkson, is about her husband helping her to pick up pieces that her father left when he abandoned her, essentially. So I feel like it's a very similar situation. I feel like they have family issues that run deep, and you actually helping them to kind of, you know, pick themselves up and piece themselves back together. You know, and I feel like you've offered them a lot of sound guidance as well and advice, and just really listen to them. And I feel like they've never really had that before. And, you know, they really do put you on a pedestal and hold you to high expectations, because to them you're just so outstanding, and, you know, you're definitely soulmates, you know, that's for sure. You kind of, you know, you throw them off balance a little bit because they know they have other responsibilities, but they're so enamored by you that they just want to spend all the time with you. You know, and you're just giving them this enormous internal strength because you believe in them, because you believe in who they are. You know, you believe they're a good person, you trust in them, you know, you believe that they'll make the right choices. You know, you just got so much faith in them, you know, and you want them to release that potential. You know, this is a huge wake-up call for them, because they always believed that they were never worth this kind of love, that they would never find this kind of connection, you know. And I feel like for you it's the same thing, you know. You both kind of come from similar circumstances, and you're both so appreciative of each other, you know, that you're just kind of in awe of each other because you just didn't think that you'd find a person like this, you know. And miracles, you know, I feel like you both feel like it's a miracle that you met each other, you know, and it's probably in very serendipitous circumstances, you know. It could be a case of you walk past each other every day, you know, and never spoke, or they were a suggested friend, you know, on Facebook. You know, it's just very sort of, you know, divine intervention type of thing. You know, and I feel like you are all they think about, you know, all the time. You know, they hear your voice constantly. They just, you know, like, they're like school children. They're just like so hopelessly in love with you, and like they want to have a family with you. They want to marry you. They want to spend the rest of their lives with you, essentially. You know, you're just giving them like a fresh approach on life, like a fresh view of things. You know, they had their eyes closed for so long. It seems like the Eight of Swords on standard deck, she's wearing a blindfold. You know, she's got her eyes closed to the reality of the situation. So I feel like you are opening their eyes and making them realize that there is love out there. There's love to be had. Everyone deserves to have love. Every single person on earth deserves to have love, you know, and they've always dreamed about meeting the soulmate, and now they've met you and they don't know what to do, you know, because they're just so hopelessly, sickeningly in love that, you know, the thought of a future scares them in a way, in case, you know, it doesn't come to fruition, in case it doesn't happen. But, you know, there's not really one negative card here. The only negative one is their own imagination, you know, the things that they're concocting in their head. But it's actually a really amazing reading, you know. This person just loves you so deeply. Like, we all know that kind of love where you get a lump in your throat kind of love. You know, you just can't eat, can't sleep. You know, you tear up with joy because you're just so happy that you've met this person. And that's literally, you know, how they feel about you. And that is amazing. And you should, you know, just feel so lucky to be in that situation. You know, and this is an ongoing kind of love. This is an enduring love. It's not a quick, you know, burnout quickly thing. Not at all. This is like an enduring love. You know, this could stand the test of time for sure. Okay, so that was pile 3. I hope you've enjoyed that. And now I'm on to pile 4. Okay guys, on to pile 4. I accidentally stopped the video at pile 3, so I'm going to have to add this on to the end. But here is pile 4. So this is the Rose Quartz Heart. So we'll start with the Mystic Faerie Tarot. We've got the 8 of Wands. The King of Cups reversed. 3 of Pentacles. Okay, and the Cosmic Tarot, the World. 6 of Pentacles. Ace of Swords. Okay, and my Oracle deck, we've got Fireworks. Deep Feelings. Okay, a Mermaid and Dolphin Oracle deck, Alchemy. You have the Midas touch right now, and every project you begin turns to gold. Okay. Protection. You, your loved ones, and your possessions are safe and protected by heaven. Okay, the Magical Herb Oracle, Detox. Stimulate. Okay. Nature's Whispers, Infinite Blessings. Assurance. Okay. So, I feel to a degree this person doesn't really understand what it is that they have. I feel they're very emotionally driven, but they kind of give in to the negative emotions a lot. You know, I feel they're very impulsive, you know, they're very reactionary. They don't really think about things as they're happening, you know, like logical explanations for them. So, for example, if you're having a discussion, you know, you're not happy about something, they automatically jump on the defensive, accusing you of accusing them of the worst thing in the world, essentially. You know, and they have a tongue that can cut you like a knife. You know, their words are very sharp. You know, the Fireworks, you know, as well as you obviously have a lot of chemistry, which is why you argue, but it can also relate to someone who's got quite a volatile personality at times. You know, and I think that is a big factor in it. But, you know, I feel they're not really changeable feelings. I feel his mood's changeable because the Eight of Wands is quite a changeable energy. It's quite fast. So I feel like when he's angry, he'll tell you he's angry, but then he's over it quite quickly, sort of thing. It's not like a passing thing. Because the Pentacles are very much about stability, and, there's obviously you've got the deep feelings there as well. So I feel like, yes, they can be quite volatile. Their moods swing quite a bit. But, they do actually have deep feelings for you, and they do feel quite assured with you, they know that they can behave in that way because you're not going to go anywhere. And even sometimes if they threaten to leave, they're not really going to leave because, again, they know they're not going anywhere either. And they do feel extremely blessed in this connection. You constantly provide them with blessings, whether that be a child, happiness, joy, just sort of a stable grounding for them. You continue to supply them with things that they need. I feel like even maybe financially sometimes you've helped them out, but it's not like a selfish thing because the Six of Pentacles, it's like you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. So it is very much on an equal footing. And I feel like you actually make money together. So you could be business partners, or, they kind of encourage you to fulfill your creative pursuits. You could just be, some couples when they get together, they just make money because they have that lucky, streak in them. It can really be that kind of thing, but it's also about creating your own reality, and I feel you do stimulate them, mentally, emotionally, you're always challenging them, but it's in a good way. Because, sometimes if you're not challenged emotionally or in a relationship, you get bored very quickly and move on. And I don't see that here. Sometimes there is a little bit element of that, but, you always know how to turn it around to get it moving and get it being exciting again. Detox as well, I feel like you've helped them to overcome some addictions. So whether that would be drugs, alcohol, food, negative thinking, there's all different kinds of addictions, and I feel like you've helped them to face up to what their addictions actually are and try and move past them, for the betterment of everybody, really. But you are their world. They would be completely lost without you. They wouldn't know what to do without you. You've become very important in who they are as a person now. And the deep feelings. I mean, Ace of Swords. I mean, people usually sort of like associate the swords as being like quite direct and cold, but the Ace of Swords is like, it's very deep intellectual thought. It's very deep, deep feelings, and I feel like they are learning slowly but surely how to be more careful with their words based on who they're with, because I feel like they're a very sort of equal opportunities, equal treatment kind of person. But they've realized that isn't always the case when you're speaking to people that you love, because you're a very sensitive person, and I feel like they understand that they have to speak to you and treat you differently, because yeah, fair enough, treat everybody the same, but they kind of, on some level, lack the understanding that not everybody will receive information the same. You can't talk to everybody in the same way because people will take it the wrong way and they don't like to be spoken to like that, etc. But there's definitely fireworks still there. There's definitely a lot of fire and energy left in this relationship. I know that fireworks do burn out quickly, but the fact that there is, you've got the Three of Pentacles, you've got the Six of Pentacles, you've got the deep feelings card, and the assurance and infinite blessings. I'm not worried about this connection. This has the potential to go very, very far, as far as you want it to. And I feel like in these circumstances, you actually have the upper hand because you would be the one to end it, really. I mean, they might threaten, but I don't think they actually would. I feel like you'd be the person to end it if it was going to end. But you do stimulate them. There's a lot of energy, there's a lot of fire in this relationship. You could both be fire signs. But there's a lot of stability there as well, because I feel like stability and equality is important to both of you. But I feel like you are teaching him that, his words can be quite painful at times if he doesn't use them properly. And so, you're teaching him not to use words as a weapon, but to use them, to heal and reach out to people in an effective way. So you're actually teaching him quite a lot of things, really. Just like he's teaching you things, you both teach each other. Oh my god, it's really warm in here, and I'm like absolutely dripping in sweat. I'm sorry for that image, but it's just really, really warm. But yeah, I've got nothing, I'm not worried about anything here, and you shouldn't be worried either. They've actually all been pretty okay today, the readings. I was expecting like one to be really horrific, but there hasn't actually been anything too bad. I mean, obviously there's been like little personal issues going on within people, and with this person, it may get to the point where you decide to walk away because you can't deal with the emotional instability. But that's really your call. But there's a lot of good things here to kind of outweigh that. I know sometimes you might feel like giving up and feel like, oh my god, this person is insane, but there's actually a lot of good things here that outweigh that one particular thing. So that's just a little bit of guidance there for you. Anyway, I hope that this has resonated. Leave what hasn't resonated. I'm always open to criticism and feedback and any suggestions going forward. But thank you for taking the time to watch today, and I'll be back soon with another video. I'm not really sure which direction I'm going to take the next video in. Getting kind of tired of the Meghan Markle debacle, because nothing really is going on at the moment with that. Nothing major anyway, so I may deviate from that to do another celebrity type of reading. So if you have any suggestions on that would be great. But thanks very much for watching, guys. Take care, and I'll see you again very soon.